We're Team Zeta for UCI Racecar. So just a quick couple of points, just related to this very presentation. I changed my mind about how I wanted this presentation to go yesterday, so this is kind of a work in progress. So I really will welcome all your guys' input. There'll be a quick presentation, and the crux of it will come at the end with questions. I really want your questions because there's so much to get to explain here that we really need your questions and what you're interested in about this project. We can answer from there. So, yeah, I'm Lewis, by the way. I'm the team captain. These are a select few, mainly team leads from the team, sub-team leads. Right. Okay, so FSAE. I thought I'd just give a little quick background for those who don't know. Students do everything in this project in FSAE. Professors, they may open doors or whatever, but it's us what walk through and get the work done. The word formula in FSAE kind of means there's a comprehensive set of rules what are set by a body. And for us to compete, we have to adhere to those rules, follow engineering practices set by the Society of Automotive Engineers. That's what the SAE stands for. The design requirements for this project is you've got to design a car for a non-professional weekend autocross racer. So they're your requirements, pretty general. And we simulate a design team who are bidding for a contract to produce these cars. It's quite simple, but it's quite general as well. So because of these requirements, our car must be safe and reliable, because you've got people buying these cars, not professionals, like you, anyone here could buy one. It's got to have high performance and easy to operate, because, like, again, it's you who buy the car, who buys the car. It's got to be easy to maintain as well. The idea being that on June 17th this year, teams will compete against each other in competitions, both static and dynamic events, where these criteria will be judged. So Project Zeta. This has been a 2-year design project. So it started out a couple of years ago outlining an electric vehicle. So you can have an IC vehicle or an electric vehicle. We chose to go with electric. An attempt in 2014 was made to enter the competition. So those dynamic events, what I mentioned a minute ago, we actually tried to enter those competitions. We failed tech, and that's because our car didn't adhere to those rules what I mentioned earlier. Very strict rules to enter competition. The technical inspection was failed mainly due to the firewall and just general safety grounds. A new batch of engineers, that's us, came in fall 2014 to take on the project. We created a new set of goals to help us achieve what the other team couldn't achieve. They had already done a lot of legwork and groundwork related to the performance of this vehicle. It's a really high performing vehicle, we think, in terms of those events, those dynamic events that we are trying to take part in. Sorry, a bit lost. I'll just move on to goals. So that's our background and goals. So what are the major long-term goals for our projects? Well, we want to pass technical inspection, something the team failed last year. By passing technical inspection, we predict that we will automatically finish 5th in this competition out of at least 20 or 30 teams will enter. That's based on previous year's results. 2013, only one car passed tech in the whole country. In 2014, only 3 cars passed tech in the whole country, and only 1 completed all the dynamic events. So to get an electric vehicle to actually compete is not a given. To pass technical inspection, you have to be on the ball, and goals help us achieve those goals. So we moved on to major short-term goals. We formulated goals that we thought were both ambitious but realistic. So, you know, passing in technical inspection, it's got enough ambition about it because you're doing something that's really hard. But at the same time, you break that goal into more realistic goals. So we completed numerical, physical, and entrepreneurial analysis of the car inherited. So we basically took the car we got given and took it to bits and analysed it in great detail. We then moved on to redesigning any modifications, etc. that needed to be done. And we aim to complete dynamic tests. These major short-term goals are focused quarter by quarter. The long-term goals are obviously year by year. So lots of goals. Sorry, this is a terrible presentation. Right, management and communication. So we split our team up right at the start of the project to try and break down. We have our goals. Now we need to break down our team so that we can achieve those goals. To achieve those goals, we need to create objectives. To create objectives, we need clear teams. So we have about 20 members in our team. We create 5 clear departments, as shown up here. The aim was to have one person acting as a point of reference for everyone. That's me, the team captain. And then underneath that, we have other points of reference for people to use. Again, you're just breaking down the communication lines. That was the target here. So the idea is people work in a department. So you've got, let's take chassis for example, you've got 5 people in that department and 1 point of reference. That's Chris Kent here. So all the work related to chassis goes through Chris Kent, and Chris Kent can talk to me, and we can all talk together, but really we just need to focus, once the goals have been set as a team, we just need to focus our efforts on your department. So it's a very simple management system, and again, we just want to reduce the amount of communication. We want to reduce the number of directions what the communication goes into. We don't want communication having to go from chassis to high voltage to low voltage, vehicle dynamics to powertrains for every task. It would just be inefficient. So getting people organised was a key task. So we'll move on to communication. So communication. So we have whole team meetings on Thursdays and Tuesdays. Tuesdays being focused on what we did. Thursdays, because the weekend comes up, we can focus on what we're going to do. We have regular meetings between PMs and myself and other team leads as well. We chose to have an app-based communication, text now. So we can all contact each other either as a whole, within little groups, subgroups like chassis, high voltage, etc., or even individually, but that's on a professional level. Of course, I still encourage informal communication. So communication between two people is still allowed. It's just that we have some guidelines what we set out for communication, what's got to be formal, and that leads to documentation. The documentation for this task is really, really heavy. The FSA governing body requests extensive documents, some of which are in the document that I give to, sorry, I don't know your name. So we need to really prepare for the scrutiny that's ahead by the FSC judges. And it all starts with communication, free standards documentation. So our schedules. So here you can just see a snippet of our winter schedule, but they're really determined by the deadlines what we have. So a deadline for manufacture, for example, is June 17th. There's no point being able to make parts after this because the competition is on June 17th. We aim to obviously have manufacture done well before then, but there are issues with manufacture which you can sometimes never foresee. And for example, you've got the deadline for the design report. That's May 1st. So that will mean that our final design, which should be done, again, well before May 1st, should be done by May 1st. Any changes to that and you're breaching regulations of the FC formula. And then how we formulated our schedules was this, like I said, this one here is just for the winter quarter and it's a whole schedule. So here you can see the goals, what I set out earlier, and I've just put them into week by week targets for us to achieve with respect to time. The management system allows us to break those week by week targets into objectives set by our team lead, our sub-team leads. So our sub-team leads will have their own schedule with their own style. Because this is such a large project, you can't expect everyone to work in the same way. There's always an efficient method, and I think that comes with allowing people to, choose what method they think is best. On the upper level, you've got some kind of guideline here, what I set out, but as you go deeper and deeper, it becomes a lot more personal. The person really matters. Whoever's leading that task, whoever's actually doing that task. So that's the schedule. Finding achievement. So how do we make sure we know when we achieve our goals? So the first one is testing. By testing our car, we'll get a good idea of if our models match our actual results. So once we get that car actually rolling against the clock, have a driver in there, feel in the car, we'll have a good idea whether, for example, on the skid pad test, which is when you're driving a circle against the clock, we'll know whether we are anywhere near our goal, above it, or just met it. We can measure performance in relation to goals, as I mentioned, but the real test will come in Lincoln when we measure ourselves against our competition. That's a real hard measure of our achievement, because how do we know what our competition is? There's only so many channels we can go to. It's a really complex task, but it's a fun one as well. Innovation. So we think our innovation comes with our digital control system and talk control. It allows us many capabilities. A lot more detail is available in the document what I've given out. But yeah, the digital control system will allow us to basically control the car from the seat of a chair. We can analyze live in live
Okay,
time.
so right now it's 15 minutes.
Okay.
So it was 15 minutes for the presentation and 15 minutes for Q&A.
Okay.
I'm going to give you 3 minutes, and then we're going to move directly into Q&A.
Just about done. I mean,
Okay.
I haven't practiced this, so it's pretty rubbish. And sorry, the fact that this is an electric powertrain vehicle, I think, is innovation. It's coming out in the real world. The fact that we're doing it at this level, this early on in our careers, is something to be proud of for us, and I think it is innovative. Another interesting point, I think, as well, what a lot of people don't probably think is innovative, is the fact that our people, again at this early age in their careers, are managing their time to achieve something much bigger than themselves. You know, to have the vision to look a year ahead and say, that's where we've got to be, this is how we're going to get there. I think that takes real innovation to, you know, stand that out. So, right.